Struggling to stop eating once you start, even when you already feel kind of full? These 9 tricks train your body and brain to slow down, stay satisfied, and stop overeating. In today's video, we're breaking down 9 science-backed tricks that make overeating so much easier to control, even if you've struggled with it for years. They target the hidden habits and signals that make your appetite feel stronger than your willpower. Stick around, because once you learn all 9, you'll finally know how to slow down, feel satisfied sooner, and stop eating the moment your body has had enough. Let's get started. Number 1. Slow down your eating. Most people don't realize that the speed at which they eat affects how much food they end up consuming. When you eat too fast, your stomach doesn't have enough time to send fullness signals to your brain, so you keep eating long after your body has had enough. This delay between feeling like you've eaten and realizing you're full is one of the biggest reasons overeating happens, even when you don't mean to. Slowing down gives your body a fighting chance to communicate properly. When you intentionally take your time with each bite, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your hunger that you normally miss. You start recognizing when your stomach feels satisfied instead of stuffed, and meals suddenly feel more enjoyable rather than rushed. It becomes easier to stop eating because you genuinely start feeling the comfortable fullness that used to be drowned out by speed. This is a simple change, but it rewires your entire relationship with food. Try putting your fork down between bites, chewing more thoroughly, or simply pausing for a moment halfway through your meal. These tiny adjustments stretch your eating pace naturally without feeling forced or unnatural. Over time, your appetite becomes calmer, your cravings weaken, and overeating becomes something that happens far less often. Eating slowly is one of the most powerful tools you can use, and it requires almost no effort to start. Number 2. Drink water before meals. Drinking water before eating is a simple habit, but it has a surprisingly strong effect on appetite control. Water takes up space in your stomach and activates stretch receptors that signal early fullness, which helps you feel satisfied with less food. When you begin a meal already partially full, overeating becomes much harder because your body reaches comfort sooner. This little trick works for almost everyone and fits effortlessly into daily routines. Many people mistake thirst for hunger without ever realizing it. When your body is dehydrated, it sends signals that feel almost identical to hunger, causing you to snack or take larger portions without truly needing food. Drinking a glass of water before meals resets this confusion and gives your brain clarity about what your body actually needs. It stabilizes your appetite and helps prevent mindless munching throughout the day. To make this habit stick, drink a full glass of water 10-15 minutes before your meals and take gentle sips during eating. Not only does this support better digestion, but it also creates a natural pause that slows your eating speed. Over time, you'll notice that you feel fuller faster, your cravings decrease, and your mealtime choices become more intentional. Water may be simple, but its impact on overeating is incredibly powerful. Number 3. Make protein the star of your meals. Protein is one of the most effective nutrients for controlling hunger because it digests slowly and stabilizes blood sugar levels. When your meals lack enough protein, your body keeps searching for satisfaction, pushing you to snack or return for seconds. This isn't a lack of willpower, it's your body trying to meet its nutritional needs. Making protein, the foundation of each meal, transforms how your appetite behaves throughout the day. You can build protein into meals in straightforward ways. Eggs, yogurt, chicken, fish, tofu, beans, and lentils all keep you full longer and reduce cravings. When protein is present, you stay satisfied for hours instead of experiencing quick crashes that send you running to the pantry. It's the kind of fullness that feels steady, calm, and controlled. a huge advantage if you struggle with overeating or emotional snacking. A high-protein breakfast is especially powerful because it sets the tone for your entire day. When your first meal stabilizes your hunger hormones, you're far less likely to crave sugary foods later. This simple shift can drastically reduce nighttime overeating because your body isn't playing catch-up. If there's one nutrition rule to follow for appetite control, it's this: include a meaningful source of protein in every real meal. Number 4. Use fiber and volume foods. Fiber is your natural appetite manager. It expands in your stomach, slows digestion, and keeps you full longer without adding unnecessary calories. High-fiber foods like vegetables, fruits, beans, lentils, and whole grains create physical fullness, not just temporary satisfaction. This makes overeating much harder because your stomach sends stronger and clearer signals of fullness. Volume foods take this idea even further. These are foods that provide large portions for relatively few calories, making your meals look and feel more satisfying. When half your plate is filled with vegetables or salad, your brain responds to the visual abundance and feels content sooner. This reduces the psychological urge to keep eating simply because the plate looks too empty. For snacks, choose foods that give you both fiber and volume. Berries, apples, carrots, cucumbers, popcorn, and celery pair well with protein-rich dips like yogurt or hummus. These combinations give you something to chew, something to enjoy, and something to fill your stomach without triggering overeating. Fiber-rich eating is one of the best long-term solutions for reducing your appetite naturally and consistently. Number 5. Buffer meals to control cravings later. A buffer meal is a strategic, balanced meal designed to prevent overeating later in the day. Most people overeat at night not because they're emotional, but because they're simply underfueled earlier. Skipping breakfast, eating tiny lunches, or having unbalanced meals creates a roller coaster of hunger that explodes in the evening. A buffer meal fixes this by giving your body steady, reliable energy. A good buffer meal combines protein, fiber, and healthy carbs in a satisfying portion. For example, oatmeal with chia seeds, a veggie-packed omelet, yogurt with fruit, or a chicken and veggie bowl all keep your hunger stable. Instead of your appetite spiking and crashing, you feel grounded and controlled. This dramatically reduces nighttime cravings that feel impossible to fight. Once you add a solid buffer meal into your routine, you start noticing something interesting. You no longer feel desperate for food at night. The urge to binge weakens because your body finally has enough fuel to function properly. This trick is especially helpful for people who say they eat perfectly all day only to lose control in the evening. Number 6. Protect your sleep to balance hunger hormones. Sleep plays a much bigger role in appetite than most people realize. When you don't sleep enough, hunger hormones like ghrelin rise, making you feel hungrier all day. At the same time, the hormone responsible for fullness drops, leaving you satisfied for shorter periods. This hormonal imbalance makes cravings stronger, especially cravings for high-sugar, high-fat foods that provide quick energy. Poor sleep also weakens decision-making, meaning you're more likely to give in to cravings or make impulsive food choices. You may find yourself snacking nonstop or overeating at meals simply because your brain is exhausted. Even one bad night of sleep can create a ripple effect where your appetite feels chaotic and difficult to manage. Improving your sleep gives your hunger hormones a chance to rebalance naturally. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of consistent rest, avoid heavy meals before bed, and keep your sleep schedule steady throughout the week. When your body is well rested, your appetite becomes calmer, cravings soften, and overeating becomes easier to avoid. Sleep isn't just about energy, it's a major factor in appetite control. Number 7. Change your environment to reduce mindless eating. Your eating habits are influenced heavily by your surroundings, often more than by hunger itself. When food is visible, easily accessible, or served in large portions, your brain is triggered to eat more without realizing it. This is why people often eat more at parties, buffets, or when snacks are left on the table. Your environment pushes you toward overeating even when your stomach doesn't need extra food. Start by using smaller plates and bowls, which make portions look bigger and help prevent overeating. Never eat directly from large containers like chip bags, ice cream tubs, or family-size boxes. When you portion your food instead, you create a natural stopping point that helps prevent unconscious overeating. Store trigger foods in harder-to-reach places and keep healthier snacks visible and ready to grab. Even small shifts, like moving snacks to a higher shelf or storing treats in an opaque container, can drastically reduce mindless eating. When your environment supports your goals, you no longer fight cravings all day, because many cravings never get triggered. Number 8. Eat trigger foods the right way, not the easy way. Trigger foods are the foods that you can't stop eating once you start. Chips, cookies, chocolate, pastries, and similar treats. Avoiding them completely might seem like a solution, but restriction usually increases cravings and leads to binge eating. Instead, the goal is to learn how to enjoy these foods in a controlled and satisfying way. The best strategy is to eat trigger foods after a real meal, not when you're starving. When your stomach already has protein and fiber, the emotional pull of junk food becomes much weaker. You still get the taste and pleasure, but you're much less likely to overeat because your hunger hormones are stable. This simple timing change makes a massive difference. Another key is portion control. Instead of eating from a package, serve yourself a small portion and put the rest away immediately. This creates structure and prevents the endless eating that makes trigger foods dangerous. The goal isn't to eliminate treats. It's to enjoy them mindfully so you stay in control instead of feeling guilty afterward. Number 9. Use the pause to break emotional eating. Emotional eating happens when your feelings, not your stomach, drive you toward food. Stress, sadness, loneliness, boredom, and frustration can create cravings that feel urgent and overpowering. These cravings usually target specific comfort foods, and once you start eating, it's hard to stop. Understanding emotional hunger is the first step to breaking this cycle. The pause method is a simple and powerful way to interrupt emotional cravings. When you feel the urge to eat between meals, stop for a moment and ask yourself whether you feel hunger in your stomach or in your emotions. Emotional hunger comes on suddenly and demands specific foods, while physical hunger builds gradually and can be satisfied with many options. If you realize the craving is emotional, give yourself 5-10 minutes before deciding to eat. During that time, do something that soothes or distracts you. Take a walk, breathe deeply, drink water, stretch, or talk to someone. If the craving remains afterward, you can choose to eat mindfully. The pause gives you space to make a conscious decision instead of reacting automatically, and over time, it becomes a powerful tool for self-control. Subscribe now for more daily healthy tips.